I'm just like disappointed in myself because I kept going back and forth on whether or not I was going to buy this comic because I was like, Tap Dance Killer. That sounds unbelievably retarded. And then I saw the cover and I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. Then I was like, God, it could be cringe. And I flipped through it and I was like, okay, I'll get it. Because I was like, look, I get this. Then I'm going to get people who really enjoy tap dancing. That's a large market. And also, probably some overlap in there, people who love the critically acclaimed comedy hit Superstar, starring former SNL alum Molly Shannon. And in that movie, her parents tap danced each other to death, and I was like, okay, if I get some of that, that'll be good. But I don't get any of that at all. Just look at this. Does this actually appeal to anyone aside from someone who wants to make fun of it? Does it? It's just like, I don't know. Okay, so we'll get into this. And we see this art style. And I'd just like to point out that these security guys or corrections officers need to be fired because she's probably not that far away and she's literally the only target there. And we learn that her name is Nikki St. Clair. And she's a triple threat and she was almost on her way to Broadway. But now she's in a jailbreak. Wanted dead by the mob, her fellow inmates, and these rude dudes with the Glock 22s. The title of this series might have you wondering if this is a story of a hero or a villain. The short answer is, it's complicated. Now, if you have any sort of intelligence, you will learn that only stupid people will generally say it's complicated, and complicated is, shorthand for that you are bad at explaining things. And it's just, I would like to emphasize before I even get into this, I have no idea how long this video is going to be because I hate this. I hate musicals. I hate theater. I hate plays. I hate all of that. I just have such a disdain for it. It sucks. It's awkward. I'm just supposed to pretend that there are adults playing pretend right in front of me. I'm supposed to just forget about that aspect of it, of how odd it is. So she jumps down. At least this way I got a shot to not get shot. And she's wearing, like old school prison stuff. Prison uniform. I mean, as far as I know, they're all orange now, but that's not as sexy, I guess. And look at this. It's like a metropolitan area. I don't know. As far as I know, most prisons and jails are far removed from society, or as far away as they can get. I mean, Rikers Island is ostensibly an island. I mean, I haven't done any checking on that, but it's got island in the title. The jail here is like in the middle of nowhere compared to civilization, so the fact that she just jumps over this wall and then is greeted by sidewalk and people, and she's just grabbing onto a truck and stuff, and then I guess she's supposed to be like cool, but she's just doing like quips and jokes to nobody. So after riding on this truck, she's like, sorry to bail on the fare, Hoke. I'll catch you next time. She's just like running around, and we learn that she was in a play with these other fucking weirdos. If you're into plays, I don't know what's worse, being into watching plays or actually wanting to be in a play. I think it might be my lowest form of entertainment. You know what's better than a play? Magician. A magician is better than play. We need to burn all theaters to the ground, unless they also have stand-up comedians or bands or rappers. Then I can live with that. But we need to restrict this nonsense. So this woman who is running the play that they're in, where she plays the tap dance killer, title. But she says they're pretty bad, so she gives them these poorly drawn shots, and it makes them be grimace, and just generally look like they all have an itch that they can't. It's an itch, but they can't figure out where it is. but they just know that some part of them is itchy. See, I gotta scratch myself now that I'm talking about itching. And it turns them into the roles they're playing. So then they become criminals all around town, and look how intimidating they are. With face mask. Dude, you gotta question how badly you actually want to be a villain if part of your costume is face paint. And she does some stuff. It's so fucking boring. And she goes to jail, and then it cuts back to her running out of jail. So she runs into her friend here, who apparently runs a haberdashery. I don't know the time frame of this at all, because some stuff looks modern, but then all this play stuff is vintage and blah blah blah. Mystique, bleh. So she puts on some clothes and goes out and is like, what's going on? I'm definitely not a prisoner. And then I guess this is supposed to be a joke. Because in the previous panel, she's like, I need a shirt. She's like, okay, but it'll be too big. Also, I need your skirt. Why? I don't know. And so we see this big fat ass wearing panties, stuttering. And I guess that's a joke. That fat bitches, they wear panties. I hope to God they do. They should be wearing like 2 or 3 panties at a time, you know what I'm saying? I also feel really weird that I keep saying panties and not underwear, but those are panties. And then, like, she plays up, like, you sure you can't stay around? And then her friend's like, I've never been so scared in my life out of this. This is not entertaining at all. And it cuts back to her being in jail, and of course she takes down, like, the biggest, butchiest, short hair, havingest, just, like, there's no other way to describe her but just a complete dyke. I mean, I feel like she calls herself that, so that's okay. And she makes enemies in the prison, and it's boring as shit. And then finally we get some goddamn tap dancing, which is what I've been waiting on. Which is, I never thought I would be waiting on tap dancing. That makes me reflect on my shit. So she ends up in the hole, and she's like, I gotta become the tap dance killer. That's my gig. See all these, like, showbiz words here? What does it mean to be the tap dance killer? Well, I would assume tap dancing, and then just look at this shit. I can't think. Imagine you're also in one of these other cells, and you just hear tap dancing. That's the kind of shit that make you go insane. And look at that. Look at this panel. I guess this is supposed to be like... Okay, whoever drew this was like, yes. Yes, this is what it's about. This right here. This panel of a black woman in jail just tap dancing her heart out. But for Nikki, it was like a chapel, a place where she found the absolute center of her being. Imagine if tap dancing is your life. If you know anybody who tap dances, please just cut off one of their legs. Please. And then we see that the CO in here is like, hey, you're pretty great. I've been listening for days and my jaw is on the ground out here. Thanks, Alice. Doesn't that sound like torture? That sounds like something to be doing in Guantanamo Bay, is torturing people with tap dance. Just an audio track of tap dancing. And also, I don't know good tap dancing. I played clarinet all my life. I know about music. You're on another level, big time. I don't think those things gel. I don't think they gel at all. But what do you know, you're stupid CO. Now, I don't know good tap dancing. I don't know if it's good or bad. The only tap dancing person that I know is good, maybe, is this black guy who had dreads, but he would put them up in, like, the Rastafarian thing that Sway used to wear. Because he was literally on every black TV show I watched. He was on the Jamie Foxx show. He was on Malcolm and Eddie. He was probably on In Living Single. He was on all of them, and in the episode he would be in, he would just tap dance for like 8 minutes straight, and I'd be like, I guess he's pretty good. I mean, I've seen him enough times. He's literally the person I've seen tap dance the most, so he must be the best at it. But even then, I'm not sure if he's actually good. It might just be like, hey, he's literally the only black guy who tap dances. We gotta put him on UPN. And I know Malcolm and Eddie was on Fox, so, you know, shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about. So we see, she's been in the hole for 6 days, and so her CO is bonding with her, which I feel like she should definitely be getting fired, because you don't want to be forming connections, you know what I'm saying, with prisoners, because you'll probably get raped sometimes. And she gives her some advice about her dumb boyfriend or husband or something. She's like, I know this guard now in a way I've never really known anybody. It feels like I can anticipate her every motion. Now, what Nikki St. Clair here is not realizing about herself is, you can only interact with a person so many ways when one of you is locked inside of a room. Yeah, Nikki, you ain't that hot shit that you think you are. Literally, only so many things can happen when one of you is locked in a room. I just downloaded you, and I got the schematics. You're stupid. And then she's like, her speech pattern, the way she blinks her eyes, the gentle sway, and the way she stands. Such specific traits. How can you even see the way she stands? Unique like a fingerprint. And then she sings, and she tricks the guard into unlocking the door, and then she's like, oh my god, you're crazy. Why did you unlock the door? And this shit is just so dumb. It's so stupid. Prison stuff happens, and then she goes back to some bad guys, and she's wearing this stupid costume that I think was literally created to cosplay, and that will be confirmed. And we see this boxer guy, and something happens, and there's all sorts of shit, and it's stupid. And then the boxer guy turns into this, and this is their whole gang. I don't care if this guy is 8 feet tall and 400 pounds. He's not scary at all. He looks fucking stupid. And you're gonna see why I think that entire thing was invented for cosplay. This chick right here is cosplaying it. Super easy to cosplay that. And why would you even want to be this person? She seems stupid, but she thinks she's smart. And she has no redeeming qualities at all. And, wow, she just has no personality, really. Except that she's like a piece of shit. And apparently this character was invented in like 2017, and it's based on a song, and I listened to the song, and it's awful. I'll probably put a link in the description, but this character is like a year old, and it's just stupid. It's just, I can't get over how dumb it is. All you had to do was kill people by tap dancing on them. But you couldn't even do that. It's just fucking trash. No best and worst panel. I hate this.